In this video, we're continuing on with the Inscribed Angles worksheet on the KutaSoftware website under the Geometry tab. I'll leave a link in the description below so you know how to access this free worksheet. Now, in numbers 11 through 12, we're going to be solving for x. I can see that angle KPQ is an inscribed angle measuring 110 degrees. So that 110 degrees will equal the intercepted arc of Q to K. Arc Q, RK. So 110 degrees is going to equal 1/2 of the measurement of arc QRK. So what I'm going to do is multiply both sides by 2 in order to get the measurement for that arc. 1/2 times 2 is 1, so arc QRK is going to equal 2 times 110, which is 220 degrees. I know that in a circle, all the measures of an arc will add up to 360 degrees. So arc KP plus arc QRK plus arc QP equal 360 degrees. So I'll plug in what I know for each. KP is 50 degrees, QRK we calculated to be 220 degrees, and QP is 30x. All of that summed together equal 360 degrees. Now I'll combine my like terms, 50 degrees and 220 degrees. 50 plus 220 will be 270 degrees, and adding that to 30x will give me 360 degrees. So now I need to subtract by 270 degrees. So 30x will equal 360 minus 270, which is 90 degrees. And when I divide by 30, 90 divided by 30, simplified is 9 divided by 3, so x will equal 3 in number 11. In number 12, my inscribed angle is FGE, and that intercepted arc is FE. So that inscribed angle, 31x plus 3, is equal to half the measurement of our arc, which is 192 degrees. So I'll have 31x plus 3, that's equal to 1/2, 0.5, times 192, which gives me 96. So now I'll subtract 3 from both sides to get that 31x is equal to 96 minus 3, which is 93. And dividing by 31, I'll get again that x is equal to 3. So x is 3 in number 12. In numbers 13 and 14, I'm going to be finding the measure of the arc or the angle indicated. In number 13, I'm finding the measure of NLM. So angle NLM is the inscribed angle where the intercepted arc is NM. Now LN is a straight line, so that's equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, NM plus ML, both those arc lengths will equal 180 degrees. So I'll have 7x minus 10 plus 13x minus 10 equal to 180 degrees. So I'm going to solve for x in order to solve for NLM. Combining my like terms, 7x plus 13x, and I'm going to combine negative 10 and negative 10. 7x plus 13x is 20x, and then I'm going to subtract 20, and that's equal to 180 degrees. So I'll add 20 to both sides to get that 20x is equal to 200. 180 plus 20 is 200. And when I divide by 20, I'll get that x is equal to 10. So if x is 10, and I need to solve for the measure of angle NLM, I'll first solve for that intercepted arc NM. So if 7x minus 10 is arc length NM, then I'll plug 10 in for x to get 7 times 10 minus 10, which is 70 minus 10. So 60 degrees is that arc length NM. Now I know that an inscribed angle is equal to half of the intercepted arc. So that means that the measure of angle NLM will equal 1/2 of that intercepted arc NM of 60 degrees. And 1/2 of 60 degrees is 30 degrees. So 30 degrees is the measure of angle NLM in number 13. In number 14, I'm finding the measure of arc FGH. FGH. So F, go through point G all the way to H. I'm looking for the measure of that arc. Well, I know that 360 degrees will equal the measure of arc FGH plus the measure of arc FAH. Now I also have the inscribed angle FAH. The arc associated with that, the intercepted arc, is FGH. 38x plus 5 equals 1/2 of FGH. So multiplying both sides by 2, I'll get that FGH, that arc, is equal to 2 times 38 times x, which is 76x, plus 2 times 5, which is 10. And that's with distributing the 2. I also have that FGH is an inscribed angle associated with the intercepted arc FAH. So 21x minus 2 is equal to 1/2 of FAH. So multiplying both sides by 2 again, distributing that 2, 21x times 2 is 42x, and we're still subtracting 2 times 2, which is 4, and that's equal to FAH. So now I have FGH as 76x plus 10 and FAH as 42x minus 4. So I'll plug each of those in and then solve for x in my first equation. So 360 degrees equals FGH of 76x plus 10 plus FAH of 42x minus 4. Combining my like terms, I'll combine my terms with x and my terms without. So 360 degrees equals 76 plus 42, which will give me 118x. And then 10 minus 4 is a positive 6. So when I subtract 6 from both sides, 360 minus 6 is equal to 354. So 354 degrees is equal to 118x. And when I divide by 118, I apologize for running out of room, but I'll continue my math over here. 354 divided by 118 will give me that 3 is equal to x. Now that I know that 3 is equal to x, I need to plug that in order to solve for FGH. And remember, FGH was 76x plus 10. That was the measure of FGH. So now that I have x, I'll say 76 times 3 plus 10 is equal to FGH. And I'm looking at this equation here. So 76 times 3 is 228, and when I add that to 10, I'll get 238 degrees for the measure of arc FGH in number 14. Now, on to the last two problems on this worksheet. I'm going to be solving for x and solving for y. However, before I go over the answers to these two problems, please remember to like this video and then subscribe to my channel. All likes and subscriptions are greatly appreciated. So here we go with number 15. LMN is an inscribed angle where the intercepted arc is LN. So that means that 10x minus 6 is equal to 1/2 of the arc measure LN. So multiplying by 2, I'll get that 20x minus 12 equals LN. So now that I have LN, or LXN, let me specify that more clearly, LXN. If I add that arc to arc LMN, I will get 360 degrees. So that inscribed angle for LMN is 4 plus 18y. So 4 plus 18y equals 1/2 of LMN. So multiplying by 2, distributing that 2, I'll get 8 plus 18 times 2 is 36. So 8 plus 36y equals arc LMN. So 360 degrees equals LMN plus LXN. So 360 degrees equals LMN of 8 plus 36y plus LXN of 20x minus 12. Combining my like terms, I'll get 360 equal to 8 minus 12, which is negative 4, plus 36y plus 20x. Adding 4 to both sides, I'll get that 364 degrees equals 36y plus 20x. Now let me go ahead and write a formula for my other two inscribed angles, XLM and XNM. The intercepted arcs associated with them will also add up to 360 degrees. So XNM, that arc, multiplied by 1/2 will equal 10x, the inscribed angle. So 10x equals 1/2 of XNM. And when I multiply both sides by 2, I'll get that 20x is equal to x in m. And that's arc x in m, not variable x, arc x in m. My other inscribed angle, x in m, is associated with the arc XLM. So 16y plus 6 equals 1/2 of arc XLM. Multiplying both sides by 2, I'll have 32y plus 12 equal to XLM. And the addition of those two arcs also equals 360 degrees. So 360 equals XNM plus XLM. So that's 360 degrees equal to 20x plus XLM, which is 32y plus 12. So all I need to do is subtract 12 from both sides to get that 348 degrees equals 20x plus 32y. Now one way I can do this is I can solve one problem for the variable. Let's say I solve this equation for x, and then once I get that in terms of x, I'll take that and plug it in for x, and then solve for y to get what y is equal to, and then plug y in to get what x is equal to. However, since I have 20x in this equation and 20x in this equation, if I subtract the equations, they will cancel out. So 364 minus 348 equal to 32y plus 20x. 36y minus 32y is 4y. And 364 minus 348 is equal to 16. So when I divide both sides by 4, 16 divided by 4 is 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. So 4 is equal to y. And now that I know that 4 is equal to y, I'll take 4 and plug it in for y, and then solve for x. And I can use either the equation that's equal to 348 degrees or the equation that's equal to 364 degrees. However, I have room over here to work, so I'll work with the equation of 348 degrees. So 348 degrees equals 20x plus 32 times 4. And that's plugging 4 in for y. So 348 degrees equals 20x plus 32 times 4 is 128. And if I subtract 128 from both sides, 348 minus 128 will give me 220. So 220 is equal to 20x, and when I divide both sides by 20, 20 divided by 20 is 1, I'll get x all by itself, and 220 divided by 20 will give me 11. So x is equal to 11. So 4 is y, and x is 11 in number 15. Now 16, we can do the same way that we solved in number 15. However, I'm going to show you another method. We can see that angle VLM is an inscribed angle where the intercepted arc is VM. So that means that 7x plus 1 is equal to 1/2 of V in M. that arc length. And the other intercepted arc that can be added to that to form a full circle is VLM, which goes with 2y plus 74. So 2y plus 74 will equal 1/2 of VLM, and VNM plus VLM will equal 360. So when we simplify for VNM and VLM, we're multiplying both by 2. However, if we plug in 1/2 of VNM plus 1/2 of VLM, that's going to equal 1/2 of 360. If I cancel out or divide everything by 1/2, essentially multiplying by 2, I'll have VNM, that arc, plus VLM equal to 360. So if 1/2 VNM is the inscribed angle associated with VNM, and 1/2 of VLM is the inscribed angle associated with VLM, if that's equal to 1/2 times 360, that means that when you add the inscribed angles together, they will equal 180 degrees. So in other words, if I have two intercepted arcs that come together to form 360 degrees, then those inscribed angles will equal 180 degrees. So 7x plus 1 VLM, that angle, plus 2y plus 74 VNM will equal 180 degrees. So now I'll simplify. Combining my like terms, 1 and 74, I'll get 7x plus 2y plus 75 equal to 180 degrees. And when I subtract 75 from both sides, I'll get 7x plus 2y equal to 180 minus 75, which is 105. Now I'll look at my other inscribed angles that will add up to 180 degrees because their intercepted arcs add up to 360 degrees. So looking at the inscribed angle LMN associated with arc LVN, if I add that arc to arc LMN, I'll get 360 degrees, which is the inscribed angle LVN. So if I add 2y plus 100 to 6x minus 10, I'll also get 180 degrees. So 2y plus 100 plus 6x minus 10 equals 180 degrees. Combining my like terms, I'll have 2y plus 6x plus 100 minus 10 is 90 equal to 180. So subtracting 90 from both sides, I'll get 2y plus 6x equal to 180 minus 90, which is 90. Now again, like I said in the previous problem, I can solve for a variable, so solve this left equation for x, and then plug what I got in for x to solve for y. However, notice that both equations have 2y, so I will be able to subtract out the 2y if I subtract the equations. So if I take 2y plus 6x equal to 90, or we can write it as 6x plus 2y equal to 90, and I subtract those two equations from one another, 7x minus 6x is x, 2y minus 2y is 0, so x plus 0 is x, and that's equal to 105 minus 90, which is 15. So right away, I get that x is 15. So I'll take that value of x and plug it in for my x in one of my equations, either the first one or the second one. However, I'll plug it in to the second one since I have room to work over here. So x equals 15. That means that 2y plus 6 times 15 equals 90. So 2y plus 6 times 15 is 90. So 2y plus 90 equals 90. And when I subtract 90 from both sides, I'll get that 2y equals 0. Therefore, when I divide by 2, y is equal to 0. So I have x equal to 15 and y equal to 0 for number 16. And that's my final solution on this worksheet. So, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Also, if you need help on system of equations or figuring out how to solve for a variable when dealing with two separate variables in a problem, go to my systems of equations tutorial or worksheet that I've already posted. I'll leave a link in the description below so you know where that worksheet is. And as always, like, subscribe, and share.